Hello and welcome to episode 3 of the Shoe Table Podcast. I am Hibiki here with.
Hi, Manny.
And I'm lavish.
All right, guys. So tell me about your week. We'll start with you, brother. What did you do this week?
My week's been pretty tame. Over the weekend, I went to try the new Chick-fil-A sandwich, that maple one. It was not that good.
No.
It just tastes like burnt buns.
I didn't even know there's a new thing.
Yeah, it's a maple thing.
Wow.
Also, I was eating, well, because I went to Academy, and I was eating in the parking lot in the car. I saw some guy running out with a bunch of bags. He stole from them.
What the fuck?
This guy
But
just,
there
guy
there
just
was already
goes
a
and
cop there. I
robs
don't know
the
if he
place.
caught him or not.
I think I'm about to
Uh,
steal.
That cop too was eating the fucking Applewood bacon Chick-fil-A sandwich.
That's pretty much it, though. I didn't do anything
Really?
interesting.
Your whole week.
The
That's all
only
you did
interesting
was
thing was
eat
the
one.
sandwich.
Yeah.
You ate one whole sandwich in the parking lot. Watch a store get fucking robbed blind. Which I'm surprising because like the academy here, or at least like in our area, is fucking empty, dude. I figured like after
It's
No,
like
like
it's not. It
half the
massive
was
though.
year,
full.
you're crazy. The last time I went, maybe like a couple months ago, the
Well, it
fucking
was
store
Father's
was
Day, so
was
Mm-hmm.
empty, completely empty.
No,
They
bro.
had like shelves full of like weight sets, and it was in like one weight. That was it, just a singular weight.
What the hell?
Yeah.
That's how it was over there at the Sam's Club. It was like dead. Because people are prepping for that hurricane, but yeah, it's whatever. It's like it's
Yeah.
gonna hit us.
I mean, it could.
I wish not to think of that.
I just don't want to think of
I
the
mean, we
worst
need the
case
rain.
scenario possible.
No internet.
Uh,
Oh.
I don't have that problem, so I'm not worried about fucking a little bit of rain.
We need the rain too.
Yeah. All right. So, in spite of my brother doing absolutely nothing throughout the entire week, aside from eating one sandwich and watching this store, what'd you do? What'd you do this week?
Well, considering it's Monday, I'm pretty sure we all celebrated Father's Day with our fathers and fathers that are now. Hopefully they have a good one. Um, my Actually it was just celebrating Father's Day and getting into a gotcha game, which I blame my friend for. Cookie Run Kingdom. I cannot get off it, and as we're recording, I'm still playing it right now.
First thing we say not to do is just be
What?
distracted and fucking doing something else.
Well, I'm still paying attention. It's not I'm gonna ignore y'all. I'm not gonna be like, oh hey, Lavis,
That's
what are you doing? Oh,
that's fair. Well, so what's the premise? Like, what is it? What is this game?
a little cookie run system is basically going to each island or each area, completing about I want to say there's 20 missions or 30 missions in each island. You just go there, defeat like little waves of ads, fight the bosses towards every 5 or 10 rounds, and you just go around collecting cookies. It's just like a basic gotcha game, but like I find it enjoyable. The characters are very funny, and they have noticeable voice actors in there that which we know from anime. So
Is there any anime waifus there, or what's keeping you stuck playing this?
it's honestly just like a bunch of it's just brain rot for me at this point. And like I want to
Just
get into more
fucking
gotcha games, but like last one I played was like middle to freshman year of school, and it's just like nothing but like Monster Legends. If some of the viewers have seen or actually played it for themselves, very fun, and I would probably get back into it again. Granted, I spent like $300-400 on that game.
yeah.
I had a
You
problem.
spent $200 on it?
Yes, don't judge me.
Should just spent that on me, dude. What the
I
fuck?
didn't know you.
Damn, unfortunate.
Yep.
Unfortunate for you. I'm sorry about that.
Yeah, very unfortunate. Middle school, I never knew you. You old geezer.
Yeah, I was probably graduated in college already.
Yeah,
I was
that
like
is.
So is
5.
it you weren't even alive?
What were you gonna
So
say?
then what? That's it? That's all you got for us?
Basically, yeah. I mean, our week just started as of this recording.
That's
We're
I
fair.
talking
mean,
about the whole entire other week, bro.
oh well,
Coming
Well, you
from a
should have
guy who
had
did one
more.
sandwich in an entire week, he got one
Well,
sandwich.
on Friday I did go watch the new Bad Boys movie.
What do you
As
rate that?
out of 10,
Yeah.
maybe like a common one that I've been seeing is like 6, 7 out of 10. I think I'll probably give it a 7 though. I really did enjoy the jokes. They really went for the comedy aspect, and I was all in for it. A lot of drama though for this one. Like it felt like watching Bad Boys 2 again.
Yeah, I haven't seen those movies in so long, I don't remember. I just remember the opening scene in Bad Boys, I think it's 2, where you get Martin Lawrence singing the Bad Boys theme song. He doesn't know the
Ain't
lyrics,
ain't
so he's
no
just making shit up.
sticky.
Yeah, they're good movies. Dude, I miss old movies like that. I say old, right? They're not really that old. But just
Like
like,
early 2000s basically.
yeah, where like the premise didn't need to be something super complicated. It's literally just these fucking guys just being shitters and also very good like
At their job.
detectives, police officers, whatever it is the like title they were holding.
Yeah.
Like you would watch those movies and not expect something super deep, something super crazy, just a bunch of action and like a coherent enough story to get you just to get you by, you know? Like I miss movies like that. Now everything seems like it's either trying too hard to tell like a too deep of a story or not trying hard enough.
Yeah, that's actually
Um,
that sums up pretty much of like the modern day movies that we're getting so far.
yeah. I feel like at least for me, right, the theater is really, really dying.
Mhm.
Like I haven't wanted to go see a movie in a long time. I think the last movie I went to see was mm, damn, it's been so long I didn't remember.
I got mine.
I want to say go ahead.
It was
Go ahead.
last movie I seen in theaters, which I was like, oh, I'm really gonna go watch this, was Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Mutant Mayhem, and I really enjoyed that fucking movie. That was like perfect.
That was a good movie.
It was. I think they took it in the right direction. Like most of the times, like you'll get some sort of like IP like this, and everybody's trying too hard to do something. It's just like this really just felt like you got four kids in like the sound booth, and they were all just fucking having a blast, dude. You can tell like the way they like played off of each other felt very like organic, not hey friend number one, I mean my brother, let's do this. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like this really felt like these guys had known each other for like a real long time and kind of just playing around. Plus the Jackie Chan not liking the rat puns, best part for me. Like, oh, you're a rat. We don't use that way. It's like, oh, that's great. I fucking love this. Of course he would fucking hate like rat puns. He's a rat.
I love the way too, like when they during like an interview, like, hey, if you need more voice lines, you call me. Like he was all in for it, and I love that. If you saw like those little
Jackie
bits.
Chan's
Hmm.
Jackie Chan's great.
Oh yeah.
Even when he's not fucking like killing himself for every movie that he does.
Okay, I will say this. So we got another Bad Boys. Can we get another Rush Hour,
I don't know. I'm
please?
indifferent. I feel like it needs to end already. After Rush Hour 2, they should have stopped. And 3 wasn't bad, right?
Three
But the thing
was
with 3
Paris, right?
is, yeah. And then it's basically the character's brother is some crime boss or like whatever the like turn and twist was. It just seemed like out of nowhere.
Hmm.
You know, how many like big bad guys can these guys take down? You know what I mean? Without us having already like known who this person or character was. You know, I wish they would like establish a big bad. Let's say you start a movie, right? Like in part two, establish that big bad, do part three the way you did part three, and then four come back with the big bad that was established in two, rather than you go to three and it's just kind of like, who is this guy? And if they were to make a fourth, it'd be even more out of left field. It's like, wait a minute, so this guy ruled the entire underworld, and we didn't know who the fuck this other guy was? I don't believe that.
Yeah.
But then again, right? Like those movies fall really into the like Bad Boys 2 kind of like not too much story to like really get hooked on, but just like all the action and all the silliness that comes about like of these two characters and their chance meeting.
And to think too, like both Mark Lawrence and Will Smith were both like just comedies. They did no action. They did nothing like drama related, even before Bad Boys. Mind you, this was
Mhm.
like Michael Bay too, and he all he did was like make videos. And the movie was perfect. I love Bad Boys 1. I grew up watching all of them. That too for Rush Hour. Then again, I don't know too much about like the. I forgot who directed Rush Hour. If you can recall that.
I couldn't tell you. Not unless I were to like take a second to look it up. Let me see.
Hmm.
In Rush Hour 2, right?
Rush Hour 2, yeah, or who basically directed like the whole thing for both of the movies.
Brett Ratner.
Why is he not
What
ringing the
has he
bell?
done? He's done American film director and producer, directed the Rush Hour series, The Family Man, Red Dragon, X-Men: The Last Stand, and Tower Heist. I think I've only seen X-Men: The Last Stand.
Isn't
I
Tower Heist the one with the
mean,
Rock?
wait, what?
Isn't Tower Heist the one with the Rock?
Um,
Well, I'm thinking of like something completely
no,
different.
that movie's called like Skyscraper, I think.
Oh, okay.
It's the one where he fucking jumps from plane into a building, and he's like, "I'm the Rock. I'm stronger than this building." Fucking, even though the glass after like a certain height is supposed to be unbreakable to prevent people from falling out.
Man just breaks it because he's the Rock.
Yep. Rock beats scissors. I'm here, right? Like, that building was shaped like scissors, and the Rock went straight through it. Fucking guy.
Rock, how'd you break through the glass? I'm the Rock, baby. With the fucking eye, fucking or raising
The
the fucking eyebrow.
eyebrow.
Yeah, I fucking hate that. How it's in every movie that he does.
Because every movie all he does is play The Rock.
This is true.
He doesn't play himself. Remember when he got rid of the Rock and was only going as Dwayne Johnson? And everybody immediately was like, "Nah, bro, you're still The Rock." It's a thing. He just readopts the name The Rock again.
Can't you smell what the Rock is cooking up?
That's not.
Swear.
That's not
Oh,
That's
how.
not
that's
how
not how
it
it goes. I thought
goes.
I don't watch WWE.
Do you smell what The Rock just whipped up in the kitchen,
I
broskies? Like,
I don't I don't watch WWE.
He doesn't say cooking up, he just says cooking.
Oh, I don't fucking know. WWE is like a whole new freaking playground for me.
holy shit!
Okay, goodbye is you singing the JJK song.
Shut up. I thought that
You are
shit.
my spaceship.
I thought that shit said spaceship. My brain
the
fucking
song,
lied. Yes.
the song is literally called Specials. Like,
I know it's specials. I just thought it said spaceship.
all right, well then let me tell you guys about my week. All right. So obviously, yesterday, for at least for us, was Father's Day, right at the time of recording. I
Hmm.
think I'm not doing anything. I think we just we played Gears here.
Yeah, we
Like everybody just got online, played some Gears.
Yeah.
played
I unlocked
Gears, Overwatch.
yeah, I unlocked a new execution where whoever the fucking character is will go into like this weird crane kick pose, like the Karate Kid, and then proceed to fucking kick the brakes off off of the downed character. Dude, that has like reinvigorated all I want to do in Gears. I don't care about trying to snipe or trying to just fucking wall bounce like a ping pong, you know? Just go around kicking people's heads off. It's so much fun. Even though you end up going like 1 in 80 because you only get the one kill. All right. But prior to that, right, throughout like my week, I started and finished season 2 and 3 of Kengan Ashura. Right,
Hmm.
watching the Netflix movie with Baki versus Kengan Ashura, it piqued my interest. I was like, all right, so if they're trying to hype up that this character is supposed to be the equivalent of Baki Hanma, who has fucking basically done it all in his verse,
Yep.
and I would say arguably like top two, top three in his like entire verse.
He's around
Like,
top five
yeah,
actually. I think.
really?
He's actually not all that because like all the other guys are like, oh, you're the guy who knows Nico, and they just mop the floor with him. He doesn't
Oh,
get good until
you're
like
talking about
later into the
yeah,
manga.
yeah, you're talking about like Kengan Ashura. I meant like in Baki, like
Oh.
Baki's top three in his verse. But I think it just because Baki or because Yujiro's obviously number one, right? If he
Hmm.
wanted to, Baki'd be fucking toast. He'd be like, he'd be gone.
He didn't lose,
And I say
folks.
like 50-50 because I'm pretty sure he can beat Pickle, but I think as the manga goes on, Pickle like falls off, right? Do you get people who like eventually beat that guy?
Yeah, there's another character which, if people have not caught up with the manga, I don't,
Spoilers.
yeah, I don't know the character's name fully, but do you remember in Baki the guy who basically just uses the katanas like as like his
The guy who
base?
got.
Yeah, the guy who
Yeah,
like
yeah, yeah.
sliced off like the freaking what is it the prisoners? Yeah, he
Yeah.
trained one of these guys to be like he's like mentally insane in the show, and he goes after everybody and starts murking him with a katana. He goes, I don't need to know how to use my hands, all I need to know is use a sword, and basically just fucks everybody up. Like Retsu, Baki, Pickle is like all fucked up. If you I'll probably put like some art, or I'll send it to one of y'all, and that way you can put in the vid, but like he gets like sliced the fuck up, and he doesn't act like Pickle. He actually acts more modern, which is shocking.
Really?
Yeah, which is
And
actually
this guy
pretty shocking.
beats Baki.
I think he gave Baki a run for his money for one fight, but then he came back and Baki, I think, eventually won.
Because I know that there is
Could be wrong.
an arc. Who's the legendary swordsman? It's is that he comes in for an arc, and it's like his even without his sword, his finger is so deadly it cuts like with the same sort of like sharpness of a blade.
Hmm.
I like for the life of me, the name of the character is like escaping me. It's based off of like actual samurai, I believe. Is it Musashi? I don't know. I'm just throwing
I,
names out there. I don't know.
yeah, we could be very wrong.
Yeah, well, because I know that Hattori Hanzo is the ninja.
Yeah, Musashi.
Um, yeah,
Musashi
yeah,
Miyamoto.
yeah.
Miyamoto.
There you go.
Yeah, because I know that character comes in, and then weirdly enough, supposedly makes us believe like, oh, I beat Yujiro, I beat Baki, right? If this was my real sword, you guys would be dead. And then
Hmm.
proceeds to lose to a swordsman that Yujiro fucking just clapped. He just clapped him. Even in like the Netflix anime where he's there, he's like, "Is this your sword? Fuck out of here!" And just
Just starts breaking it
smoked
just with
him.
his
Yeah,
thumb.
yeah. Like that guy was done. I don't believe that that guy who got like completely destroyed by Yujiro is somehow came back and got stronger than the most legendary swordsman of all time.
My
Right?
sword is
Aside,
so strong. Let me break it
yeah,
real
like
quick.
aside from that point, right? So, like I was saying, I was watching, or I finished everything that's on Netflix right now for Kengan Ashura,
Hmm.
and the entire time in the back of my head, I'm like, holy shit, dude, Baki would have fucking killed this guy. Because if I'm supposed to believe that these two organizations are meeting up, right, to like battle each other, that it's within the realm of what we've seen on like the Netflix animes.
Hmm.
And Oma is trash, like trash tier in comparison. Like seeing him, like, oh, well, I would have just come in and one kicked what is it, Jack, right? Because they swap.
Yeah.
Baki's the one who kicks Ryan, and uh, Oma kicks Jack.
Yeah.
I was like, Jack would have fucking eaten this guy alive. That guy stood no chance.
I do
And
love
then
the
for them, go ahead.
I do love the way how like during like the whole fight, I love the way the pro wrestlers like, dude, these guys look scary. Oh my god, like he knows like, hey, they're about to get their shit rocked by the fucking
Hmm.
Baki cast.
So like I said, all I had, like all my knowledge of Kengan Ashura is within like the anime. I think that this piqued my interest enough to read the manga, but I don't want to start the manga unless I think it's already finished or getting close to it. Because I don't need to do that shit to myself where I just like power read through chapter after chapter, get to like a stopping point and be like, God damn it, I should have just waited. Like
Hmm.
waited for either next season or for the show to finish or for the manga to finish at least. But like at least going back to the topic from the previous like time we talked about it, 100% sure Baki would have destroyed that entire verse by himself. Like these guys didn't stand a chance.
Without a shadow of a
And then they
doubt.
tried, yeah. Then they tried to make the. There's like this moment with what's his name? Gendai's the person, right? Gendai something.
You thinking of the biker guy?
Yeah, fucking. I do like how Lemmy was the Motorhead Motors. CEO, but
Mhm.
obviously not named fucking Lemmy.
Mhm.
I was like, that's cool, fucking Motorhead. And so, okay, so in the movie, like the crossover movie, that guy literally tells Baki, like, oh, you're however long, like, however too untrained to ever land a hit on me. And in my head, I'm like, what the fuck? Baki would have killed this man. He would have killed this man, no problem. Especially after I saw the fight where Gendai's fighting Kiryu, the fucking dude with the Rakshas palm or whatever.
Mhm.
Like watching all of that interaction, I'm more than sure Baki would have looked this Motorhead man and just fucking killed him. Like one kick would have put him in the ground. And then for the crossover to make me believe that that guy is gonna be putting up a fight with Yujiro,
There's
I
no
don't know,
shot.
man. I doubt it. Yeah, no, it's gonna be one of those things where it's like, oh, I have the Devil's Lance, and Yujiro is just gonna fucking stand there and make this guy break all his fingers up to his elbow. You'd be like, damn, you ain't shit, bro, and fucking kill him.
I do like the way how like that's the American team and then Baki's the Japanese team. I do like that. That now that we know
Which is
like they're
weird.
in the same universe almost.
Well, yeah, but they're all in Japan. Like,
I know.
I was like, what is this?
That's
Either
why.
way, like, I'll probably go back and rewatch the crossover movie just because, fuck, dude, more Baki the better, right? Like,
Yeah.
it's just going like based off of that that I was very like indifferent. You know, I was like, I don't know, man. It piqued my interest enough to know like what happens further in the story. Because I mean, they beat the Rakshas palm guy, whatever the fuck. They beat him, and I was like, okay, so then who is Oma supposed to fight? What is he gonna do? They basically leave it on a good enough cliffhanger where I'll probably go read the manga and see where it goes. But this like further confirmed that Baki would kill everybody there,
Basically, yeah.
especially if he were to have fought the guy who's supposed to be the big bad, the one with like 150 some
The
wins, no
Fang of
losses.
Mitsune.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
The thing is with him,
So
he's just a I don't know much about him, but I know like he's like the upper management's like right hand man. Like he's the top guard.
yeah, that he's like a master of adaptation. Like
Hmm.
that's his style. He adapts to people and creates fighting styles in order to beat them. What like
He is
the whole
Maharaga.
fight seemed like yeah, it seemed really cool, right? But in my head, I was like, all right, well, okay, so Baki kills that guy too. Like, where's the crossover happen? Now, if you were to tell me that like Baki's too busy training to fight somebody in his verse that's actually worth his time, and all the like middle people, all the like cast of characters fight each other, I'd be so
Hmm.
down for that.
Oh yeah.
You know, like the whole the Ping versus Hanayama. I was like, all right, I fuck with this. I think Hanayama should have lost. I don't think Hanayama, at least in the verse, is maybe at the top. I
I
don't know.
want
It
to
seems
say
like
like
I just
top 10.
yeah. I don't know. It just seems like real inconsistent because there's times that make him seem like he's just fucking losing to random jobbers, and then he all of a sudden is fighting like what is it, Yujiro, right? He goes and has like a grappling match with Yujiro. Yujiro just fucks him up.
Yeah, I love the way how they designed Yujiro. I mean, most brokenest character in in the fucking anime. It's like, oh, I have the devil's
Mhm.
back. I know I can basically just fuck you up, and I can learn any move, like in the fucking
I
Sea King tournament.
mhm. Fucking rips that guy's face off.
Yep.
That shit was so funny, dude.
My parents watched that scene and like, what did he do? I'm like, well, he just basically ripped off a man's face.
Has a cute face, bro. Yeah, fucking takes it right right off of him. All right,
God.
so finally finished it, and it's pretty good. I'll give it like a 7 out of 10, just because I want more of the main character. I don't give a fuck about these characters. Like, why did I need to see an entire backstory about, oh, I'm this guy of justice, and then he just gets fucking bodied by some kid with wrestling? Like, you know what I mean?
Hey, but that kid
Like, I'm
didn't
more
walk
in.
away like scot free. He walked up like bad injuries.
Yeah, but even then, like, so now everything I know about this other guy becomes irrelevant because that guy, like, who is he? At this point in time, he lost. He's not good. Like, why do I care?
Hmm.
You know? I care more about Cosmo and what that guy does than this guy who just lost. You know, or how they it was a fight. I think it was with Sen, uh, the guy who does Aikido
Aikido.
against the dude who's like super stretchy with his arms.
Aikido. Oh, you're talking about the freaking
The
the
other
guy who couldn't
Nogi
die.
representative.
The guy who couldn't
Yeah,
die,
and
right? Yeah.
like that was interesting. And in just that little bit, that made me like real interested in that character. I was like, oh shit, what does this guy do, huh? What is his whole game plan? Like, where does he rank in like the strength of everything? It just like I care a lot less about these characters after they lose in this fucking backstory. Especially when they gave us like backstory on characters who die. Like they gave us a backstory of that guy who doesn't feel pain, right? The more pain he feels, it's replaced by pleasure. It's like, oh,
That shit's just weird.
I'm a super freak. I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna do that. And then
I'm also built like
this,
Toad from the X-Men.
yeah, and then just to be like, well, there's 20 minutes of this episode, and he break his neck, and it's
Yep.
irrelevant. Like none of that mattered. I'm like, I don't need to see that shit. If you're just gonna kill him, I don't care.
Oh, I have his
Show me
name
the
right
like
here.
interesting stuff.
Bondo Yohai.
Yeah, that guy.
That guy was just creepy though. Like, oh,
I
they.
did. I did like the match with the pro wrestler where he put on the face paint. He's like Hell's Angel.
This is sumo. This is so fucking cool though. I love his character.
That guy's hype. He's fucking hype. And
He
he okay, so he ends up losing, right?
he ends up
And that
losing.
was like
Yes.
maybe the only character I gave a shit about, like outside of like the main cast of characters. You know,
hmm
it's like obviously everybody's interested in the Fang. Uh, who else?
Deathlands.
Gendai.
Yeah.
Yeah, Gendai is. They're not in the same block, are they? I know Oma is in. He's the only person in his block was like Ryan. Gendai was in block B, I think. C was what's that guy's name? The Aikido guy, and then the Fang was in block D, right? So like the four people you know that they're gonna get to at the very end are the only people like anybody gives a shit about. That's what I want to see. I feel like we wasted 8 to 12 episodes of double backstory, back-to-back episodes for characters who are just gonna get fucking washed. And like that kind of sucks, right? I
hmm
wish they would have made these characters a little more interesting, but other than
It's
that, I just want to see like where the story goes. Because apparently, almost just killing himself every time he uses the fucking whatever it's called.
in the manga. It does get very serious because a lot of people think. Well, this is spoilers. Do you care?
No, no, no. Hit me with it, because I
Okay,
mean,
so basically later
not that I
down,
won't.
like he goes, "Oh man, Alma's heart is literally like on the brink of like he's just gonna die there, and there ain't no other way." But I found this stupid because like, oh, we found a heart replacement, and they literally find some dude who looks exactly like Oma, but not it's different worlds. Like he's more like, oh hey, like all happy and shit. And he's like, oh yeah, I just gave him like basically like half or like half my heart, and they just helped replace shit. I'm like, huh?
Oh my god.
So this man can still the man can still go red demon mode, and he has Nika. I'm like, okay, this is so funny. So this character just outright lives everything.
All right, so answer me this, right?
Hit me with it.
Where the show ends on Netflix, it ends with Oma like, "Oh, I just need to survive for 3 more matches and blah blah blah."
Mhm.
Do
He
they? Does he like continue the tournament? Like, what the fuck happens?
he continues the tournament, and I'm pretty sure
Even though the other man backed out, right?
hmm
Or so he does back out, the old man.
the old man with the Oma. No, he still continues with him.
Oh, so he doesn't back him out of the tournament. I thought he said that he was.
No, he wanted to. He's like, hey, I need you to back out, or else you're gonna die. And Oma goes, nope, we're gonna keep going, and they still kept going. Because
Okay, so
even though being
then
threatened by like the assassination group, he still continued forward.
yeah. Okay, so then at the end, like I said, he told Oma, like, "Hey, I'm gonna pull us out of the fight," and Oma just kind of like, walked away from him.
Nope. He's like, nope, we're gonna
And
continue this.
okay, so then the rest of the manga just follows this tournament,
The
or
rest of,
is there a second tournament later? And
I'm not sure about a second tournament, but it does finish off the tournament, which I'm pretty sure if I'm correct, Oma does go against the guy with the Devil's Lance.
for the finals?
Not for the finals. I think this is like semifinals. I think, or I think he
Is
goes Fang. I could be very wrong.
It's like maybe I just missed some like plot in the very beginning that explains where like, oh, these characters fight against each other in this tournament like annually, blah blah blah. Like I don't know how often that tournament happens or like the invitation, but it's like how do you get multiple people who've never lost and they've been fighting like for years and years for this organization? You're telling me they wouldn't just get fucking thrown in the tournament and lose then? Like what? It's just kind of weird that multiple. Oh, I've never lost a Kengan like association match.
And
It's
then
like
proceed
okay,
to
so
lose
then
that
how is
fight.
this? Yeah, and then it's like, okay, so how does this guy have 100 million billion wins? Like, you're telling me out of all these years you never fought this guy? What the fuck?
Because like
Who knows, right?
a lot of the fights also happen like outside of the tournament. Because they also happen like way before. Because even announced like Alma's like, oh, Alma has 2 wins, 1 loss. Because they're counting the outside fights between the businesses, and that goes into the tournament.
Mhm.
And then they count up like the tournament wins too. Like, oh, this guy now has three wins
Ye-
and 1 loss.
Yeah, yeah, okay, that makes sense. I was just like curious about it, like how does that go? So maybe I will like continue the manga.
Hmm. I
You
would
know,
recommend it,
I'm just yeah, I'm just waiting for more box
as everyone else is.
and yeah, and then aside from like Kengan Ashura, what I did is I picked up my arcade stick again and I started playing fighting games. I had like a buddy of mine come over, right? And we were just kind of like grinding, playing Tekken, and played like Marvel 3 or Ultimate Marvel versus Capcom 3, if anybody's like familiar with it. I used to be a tournament player for Marvel 3, not so much like anything else, right? I've won like my fair share of tournaments, competed. I've even gone to do like major tournaments. Uh, you know, like to not much success, obviously, right? But dude, it like reignited my passion to like want to fucking play, man. I really want to play more fighting games, or at least I want to get back into like that sort of groove that I was in when it came to playing fighting games.
In other words, you want to like
So
slowly get into the scene again, almost.
yeah, well, I mean, like it's not that I left, right? I'm obviously still getting like updates or watching tournaments and stuff,
Yeah.
but there's like there are levels to it. So obviously anybody can like buy their favorite fighting game and play, go into ranked mode, but like in all honesty, there really is like a lot of levels, and I'm kind of just sitting in a casual, for fun spectator level
Mhm.
because I haven't really had like any game that like makes me want to be better. So I think I'm gonna give myself maybe like not like a last hurrah, right? Make it seem like finality on it, but I'm gonna like pick up Tekken 8 again. And I'm
Okay.
gonna try to win a tournament down here.
Really?
Maybe like genuinely commit to like playing the game, practicing. And if I train with my, well, I guess he's kind of like my teacher, right? He's the guy who like taught me to play fighting games.
Mhm.
If
Yeah.
me and him train up realistically, maybe by the end of the year, I can probably win a Tekken tournament down here consistently. Not just like I can scrape by if I play the right people. I'm talking like I don't want to say dominate the scene, but like definitely be a like a real contender down here.
You want to
And
give someone a run
so
for their money,
yeah, so
basically.
there are like three people in particular, at least in our like local scene, who are like the Tekken players down here.
Mhm.
I've seen their gameplay, right? Not to like fucking badmouth them because they're good players, but I don't know. Not that I don't see anything special. It's just I've seen what real high level Tekken is like up close, and I was like, oh, these guys are they're not there yet. So let me get there. Let me get to that level and bring the level up of everybody else. That's not to say like these guys aren't good and can't go and like succeed elsewhere. Like I've seen it, man. I've seen like Titans clash when it comes to playing Tekken 8, or not Tekken 8 specifically, but Tekken in general. And so I know that if I were to train and really, really like commit to it, I'd be a monster down here. I just need to get out of my own way. Maybe play like a top tier character or something, because the character I'm playing takes a lot.
Who would that character
Like
be? Or
Kazuya. Why?
oh,
The only reason I want to play Kazuya is because he's so execution heavy,
okay.
right? It's because it's so hard to do his stuff. Mind you, right? Once you have played enough, the really, really hard executable combos, they're not too hard. It's just learning that muscle memory and knowing that, like, if I did the highest level, like Kazuya combos, the hardest combos to do, it's not something that anybody can just look at and replicate. Like, if I play Marvel 3 and I watch somebody do like a really hard combo, all I would need to do is like analyze it for like 10, 15 minutes and I can more than likely recreate it. Unless it's like extremely space specific, where like, oh, if you're stepping on this pixel and you land this hit and that way, like things like that, you know? Unless it's something like ultra specific that needs like more analysis, like I can replicate, not hard,
Okay.
you know? But to do like really hard stuff in Tekken, especially with Kazuya or any of the characters who require a lot of execution,
Hmm.
it is so much more nicer to know that nobody else can do it. Maybe they can, right? But I promise you, it will not be fucking easy.
I think that was just one
So
game I couldn't really get into as much. And I bought the full thing. I was like, oh, maybe I'll try out Tekken 8. I enjoyed 7, but I didn't play it like at a competitive level as you did.
yeah,
I
even
mean,
then, like I said, like I didn't want to say it was like at a competitive level because I was just playing it at some sort of level.
hmm,
Right? And I could beat like my friends, but when it came to like playing in tournament or anything, I had no idea what I was doing. I was
yeah.
basically just getting hit, and just playing for fun, not trying too hard, not trying to like adapt to people's play styles. Just I'm gonna hit these buttons because they're fun, and that's it. Just try to rock paper scissors people to death. But that's pretty much it for my week. It kind of just ends on, well, at least before Father's Day, I was just definitely ending on like a lot of motivation to get back into fighting games and really, really like come back onto the scene. And I think what's great about it is like me announcing it now is
Hmm.
because these guys aren't gonna hear it,
Oh
right?
my
I
god.
doubt in a fucking, well, listen, I doubt in a million years these guys will find my podcast in a random like storm of podcasts, especially with like a name like the Shoe Table, right?
Hey,
So what'll
hey.
happen? Yeah, listen, let's listen. So what the plan is I announce it now, right? So we say what the date. The date's June 17th, 2024.
Yep.
So that way, when I do win the tournament, when I do win a tournament further down the road, I can come back and be like, hey, you guys should go listen to this episode of my podcast because I called this out way, way back then,
Yep.
right? And I don't want to go to like local tournaments and build up that way because I can, right? Obviously, I can go to like the like weekly events and show up, play like Tekken with these guys. But I'm confident enough that if I stay playing with uh is a gamer tag's Onion, right? If I keep playing with Onion, that um I'll get there, dude. I'll get there without having to like reveal how I play to any of these people. So that way when I do show up, everybody's like, wait a minute, what?
Why is this guy
And
cooking
then
us?
yeah, then you get to that point because I've seen it, I've experienced it, especially with Marvel, right? Down here, whenever I would go like closer to San Antonio or anywhere up there, a lot of people see my team, have no experience playing against me, and it's like a constant surprise. Like every time I've interacted with players, especially like some top players, it was like to a lot of surprise. Like, damn, dude, I didn't think you were this good. Right, your team looks like shit. I don't know, like I never expected this or that. And it helped. It always helped my advantage. Like whenever I played people, especially like in like first to 10 sets.
Hmm.
So that's the plan. Not to say that I'm not confident on if they were to learn how I play, right? It just I want that like wow factor. I want to really just like fucking burst back onto the scene.
You want some
Just be like,
jaw-dropping
oh yeah,
scenes happening.
yeah. Just be like, I picked up Tekken again.
Ain't nothing
Like I
much, you
said,
know.
this this is the call out now. So over time, I'm not gonna say it's gonna be quick, especially because Tekken's not a game that you like pick up super quick. But when I get the ball rolling, it's gonna snowball. I'm not gonna let it stop. I'm gonna like hard commit to it. So that way, especially since like I have kids, right? They'll get to see that and see that sort of like transition up. And I would always be able to like reference back to this moment.
Mm-hmm. The next Evo champs.
Yeah, I don't know about that, dude. Arslan Ash gets paid the big bucks, and that guy practices 24/7 nonstop.
Damn.
So like I said, there's levels to it. The level down here is not up there yet. So let me get above here and then see where that goes.
All right,
I'd
all
have to like
right.
really, really love Tekken. All right, like if it were Marvel 3 and the scene down here wasn't dead, I would love to like compete at Evo for Marvel.
I'm just shocked
But
it's
then
actually
again,
dead down here. I would think that game would still pop off.
well, it is. It's just like people down here in the scene are so scattered. Like
Mm.
the people I would train with or play with, like they're cities away.
Mm.
It's kind of hard, like finding time during the week with everybody working and trying to find like a good place to play. Or
Yeah.
like let's say I would go to the locals and start to play. Well, if nobody shows up or the guy who I like need to practice against doesn't show up, then what do? Just fucking play by myself. You know? That pretty much like wraps up my week. I know that went a little long-winded, right? But I'll
Nah.
get more into like some of the fighting game stuff. But I mean, I essentially just that's kind of what it was. Just to announce that like I'm gonna come back on the scene for fighting games. And I'm gonna like make a splash.
There you go.
Get yeah.
Y'all best be ready for it. Hibiki coming back. Round 2.
Maybe around 3.
Okay.
Second straight out of 5.
All right. We'll take that.
All right. So then, now that we're done with the like update we have here, these episodes aren't going to be long, dude. Now that I really think about it,
Yep.
I yap too much.
I told you, but like, hey, people are gonna love it.
Right? I hope so.
It,
All right.
it
So we're getting to the topic for the day, or at least our first topic for the day, and it is one of the age-old debates for any fan of anime or
I got you.
animation, and it
Sub
is
or dub?
exactly. All right. Who better to kick us off than my brother here? What are your thoughts and opinions
Get it, you weeb?
for all of this?
Damn.
All right, sick, sick, brother, sick. I like it, brother.
All right, what happened?
Yo, oh my god.
This guy's like always talking about fighting games.
We're on the
Yeah, I took
topic
a nine.
of
My bet.
sub or dub.
Sober dub.
Yeah, sub versus dub. Let me correct that.
I'm going dub all the way.
Damn.
You're lying.
No, I'm saying.
I'm about to say.
All right, explain to us. Tell us.
I feel like most
Give us.
people would pick sub.
Yeah, but then you have the argument of people going like, "Oh, I don't like reading my subtitles."
Well, it's because they can't read. That's why.
Stop, dude. Stop.
Oh my god. I don't want to read it. They're going too fast.
I wouldn't
Catch
want to
up.
read if I couldn't read either. Yeah, that's a little bit too. That's a little hot right there.
Now a lot
So
of the
then what?
voice acting for dub. I don't want to say it's not good, but
It's not good.
I guess it's not good.
Hey, whoa. We just gonna knock away the Attack on Titan speech? Come on.
AOT dub is not good either.
I know it ain't
Did you
good, but
hear
that
that?
speech was
Hold on.
amazing.
Did you hear that speech in the
Did
sub?
you? I know. I was about to say. Did you hear it in sub? It's way
Way
better.
better.
I know it's better than some, but shit, that dub kind of hit hard.
There's only
But
very few anime that I like dub or that I've seen, which is Dragon
I
Ball,
want.
since I only watch it on Cartoon Network, and then also Death Note.
Ew.
I feel like Death Note was way better dubbed than sub.
Death Note had one of the most godlike openings ever. Right, just the real heavy like, "What's up, people?"
Oh my god.
Dude, the first time I heard that, I was like, "What the fuck am I watching? What is this?" And
Mm-mm-mm.
just like such like I was thrown for such a loop. So then, okay, so you're on the side of sub.
Sub
What
has
about you,
a lot
Lavish?
more emotion.
I have to
Where are
agree.
you at on this?
I have to agree with that. Like sub does have a lot more emotion, but I just enjoy dub sometimes. I don't know why. I
Well, it
think
is
Defend it.
nice to just listen and not read.
Well, I don't mind the reading. I can fucking read.
Are you sure?
Okay, dog.
Because we know we can't count from earlier.
Yeah, shut up.
Here, I'm
No.
gonna help you out. You want to learn how to count? I got you.
Oh my
Oh
god.
my god, I already know this.
1, 2, buckle my shoe. 3, 4, buckle.
Yeah,
Anytime.
thank you. That really helped me there. No, but I think I would want to go dub. I honestly just enjoy it more.
And you're actually going with dub?
I'm actually gonna go dub because there are some animes that I fuck with that are actually dub. Like
What are your favorite dubs?
favorite dubs. God, y'all are gonna crucify me for this, but I actually really love JJK's fucking dub. uh,
It's not bad.
I know it's not
All
bad,
I
but
right.
haven't
like,
heard it,
All
so
right. All right. So for the JJK dub, I'm with you. Like 80%. I think 80% of that dub is really good. 20% is trash. Straight trash.
there are moments, yeah, there are
I
moments I
mean,
could.
aside from the two of you, right, as the tiebreaker here, I definitely have to give it to sub. Like there is so much lost on like your ability to interpret a language you don't understand, right?
Mm,
So because I don't speak Japanese, and that's like the biggest argument. It's like, oh well, they also can't act in Japanese either. It's because you don't know the language to know that it's bad. It's like that's not it. That's not it at all, right? And the best example that I can give you is like, especially in JJK. So in JJK, if you watch the dub is good until you get to like Mahito doing any sort of like exposition, right? You get the Japanese, and he exposits with like a certain level of it's not emotion, right? He exposits with like a certain level of what's the word I'm looking for here? Like sass. You know what I mean? So when
you,
you get to the scene where like spoilers, if you haven't seen it, right? Like Nanami just fucking blows up, and then Yuji is screaming, and Mahito like screams back.
that
Notoria,
Even
part is
if
so
why are
good.
you
yeah, yeah,
yelling?
yeah,
Yeah.
even if you were to change what the words say on like the subtitles, you don't lose out on the fact that you know, even if you don't know the language, you know that that character is mocking this guy, dude. He is
Yep.
mocking Yuji something fierce, right? Like straight disrespecting this fucking guy, like trying to get a rise out of him. You
Uh,
listen to it in English, and you kind of lose a little bit on Yuji, like him screaming. But the moment you get to Mahito, it just doesn't fit. Like it doesn't make sense. It's like he's just reading the line rather than like delivering it. And I get, right? I get that part of it has to deal with, well, he needs to match the lips on the character, this and that. It's like somebody had to have known that there's a better way like to go about that. Even if you change what they're saying. You know, obviously they don't have a problem like rearranging like the phrasing and sentences to like get the point across. The point is like you lose on such a huge moment, right? Instead you just get like Mahito kind of talking loud at Yuji, right? Not mocking him, just talking loud in his direction. And then in the sub you get like him fucking mocking him, dude. Even if you don't understand the language,
you know what
you
he's
can
doing
hear it.
though.
Yeah, you can hear it in his tone. You can hear it in the way he like drags the like speech itself. You know, like he's really like playing into this. And an example I have of vice versa is like some of the dub anime that I really like are the like early '90s, early '80s anime where the dialogue is fucking hot garbage. You're like, what is he saying? What the fuck is this guy saying? Like, this is not how people actually talk. But it's delivered with such emotion that you're all for it, man. Like I had seen an interview, I think it was with the voice actor of I think it was like Tanjiro, right? I
The
think
English
Zach
voice actor?
Aguilar. Yeah. Zach Aguilar. So weird I say it like that, even though he's Spanish. He's
Yeah.
supposed to like roll the R, Aguilar.
You gotta roll it, bro.
Yeah, dude, Zach Aguilar. It's just so weird to hear him say Aguilar, because he's doing
Aguilar.
it because most people like don't roll their R's or understand how to like emphasize it.
Yeah.
Beside the point, he's like when it comes to in the booth, they're told to overact, right? Like overact, and that's what makes it silly. And it's like, dude, that is not what makes it silly. It's the fact that it's delivered. Like if you guys couldn't give more, you know what I mean? So my example goes back to G Gundam. If you've ever not seen a Gundam show, start with G Gundam. It's like very dated, but I'm pretty sure you can find something with like a 4K remaster or some sort of like high definition like viewing of it. The English dub in that is immaculate. Fucking awesome, dude. Like I prefer the English dub of G Gundam more than I do the Japanese dub. Because Mark Gatha, the voice actor for the main character Domon,
Hmm.
that guy say the cheesiest lines in the world. And man, you feel it. You get behind it the same way like you would as a kid, where these Power Rangers are like transforming. Like this guy's just literally just looking forward and screaming Triceratops and like dinosaur names at you. But you watch G Gundam, and the line is, "This hand of mine is burning red." Right? And at first you're like, what? If you were to read, like actually read this off, like what is he saying? It's so silly. But the way he delivers this line with so much emotion, like you feel that whatever he's telling you is exactly the truth on how he feels. Right? Like all the emotion that needs to be conveyed is conveyed. So when he's having these epic fights, you hear it, man. Like even if like the dialogue is silly, like if you were to just write the dialogue down and read it in your head without ever hearing the voice, you'd be like, "What is this?" But then you hear him say it, and man, it's delivered with so much like gusto, so much like gravitas that you can't help but just be like pulled in.
Oh,
So you'll take moments like that, and then as time progresses, I don't know if it's maybe just I don't want to say it's like the quality of the actors, right? Because who knows? I feel like
there
in
are
today's
some really
world,
good like dub actors though for
yeah.
animes.
But then again, like a lot of them come from the like older generation of anime. Like
Hmm.
right now, I think even still, like Johnny Young Bosch is top tier, right? So if you've ever seen Bleach, he's the voice of Ichigo. He's he's been like everywhere. He's the voice of Vash and Trigun. Like, he's been everywhere. And he's somebody who brings that level of emotion every time he does it, right? Even though he's pretending to be a wolf, or he's just trying to like power up with his bankai or whatever it is. Even if the dialogue comes off as cheesy, he's
It works.
delivering it with so much emotion, yeah, that you really feel like these words I cut through. And it's like rare now. Obviously, there are like some really good English actors and very good ways to like approach uh, like newer English dubs. Like I think it's My Dress Up Darling. I think the cast in that is
Oh,
great, except for the main character.
really?
Yeah, like I get that character's supposed to be shy and timid, but you hear this guy like delivering the lines, and it literally sounds like he's just reading off of teleprompter, trying to sound softer. And not to say like he's not a good actor, right? Like I mean, obviously he like has a job, continues to work in like voice, but it's just in those moments when he talks, you really don't feel like he's saying anything other than just reading lines like, "Oh no, she's not gonna like me. What am I gonna do?" Or, "Oh, this is such an awkward situation."
This
Then you
dress has to
hear
be
like,
perfect.
and then you hear Marine talk, and
She has life.
she, yeah, like so much emotion. Like even if the dialogue is so silly, like she's over here saying like, "Dude," and like all this like I guess more recent slang.
Hmm.
And it's fine. Like it doesn't sound out of place. It literally sounds like that's how the character is. Like it's like I
The
didn't
thing,
like I saw it in English first, and then I watched it in Japanese, and there really wasn't much of a difference between the characters. Like they both elicited the same sort of emotion, but when I watched it in Japanese, the like shy, timid demeanor of the main character came through more. Even if even if I don't understand what he's saying, the emotion he brings forward made me believe that he was a shy, timid guy, rather than this other like actor who made well, like you listen to it, and it sounds like he's just reading lines.
pretty much,
You
yeah.
know, yeah, whether it's like overacting or something like this is like the stuff we take in, and you can take a god awful script and just put your heart and soul into it, honestly,
You can make magic with a
and
terrible script, though.
yeah, you'll get results. So in this argument here, I'm 100% in sub. If I can watch something in sub, I'll watch it. like like 100%. The only thing that like kept me away was like maybe Dragon Ball Z, where I couldn't stand the sound of Goku's voice. I
And
get
sub?
that, yeah, and
Yeah, me either.
not for like, oh, she doesn't do a good job. She does, right? She obviously like very like emotive, very expressive.
But in
But it's the
dub, there's
fact
just
that like,
so much like power into that acting.
well, even then, right? Because I mean, they like distort their voices and stuff, right? Like
Hmm.
obviously you can use effects to like generate that sort of like
Oh
buzz or
yeah, for
hum, right?
sure.
That everybody. But it's like you would hear Goku in Japanese, and then you hear everybody else talk, and it's like it's the same fucking guy. Like if you didn't know that it was a like a old lady, right? Like obviously Goku sounds the same, Gohan sounds the same, Goten sounds the same. Like all these characters sound exactly the same. There's no like
Yep.
different like there's nothing different about it. And so when you get to the English dub and Gohan has his own personality, Goten has his own personality, like that's what brings these characters to life. Not so much that like, oh, sub is reign supreme. Like I really do think the English dub of Dragon Ball is better in certain aspects, and the sub for like Dragon Ball has like moments that are better. Right? Like any moment with like let's say you were to get like Vegeta, like the moments that Vegeta has with Jiren or a Topo or anything, like those are great. And you get to Goku talking to Gohan, you're like, oh, I don't want to hear this anymore. Who's talking? You look away from the screen for a second, you don't know what character's like doing what.
Basically, yeah.
Yeah. So at least in this, I'm definitely on the side of sub. Like I will watch anything for the first time in sub, and maybe if like I don't feel like reading, right, or I'm like actively distracted or something, I'll put on the dub.
Yep.
But it's like very few and far between where the dub I feel is superior. But that's not to say like I can't watch something in dub. Like I watched JJK in dub. I think the voice actress for Nobra kills it. Like fucking really brings that character to life.
Running
You
away like
know?
a little bitch, huh?
Yeah, like Gojo brings like so much to it. Uh, actually prefer the sound of like English ghetto over like Japanese,
Really?
right? But it's because these actors bring like so much like forward.
Yeah.
Like I said, like when it comes to this debate here, I'm like 90% on sub and like 10% on dub. I think what would have been like a flawless dub for an English anime was Sword Art. Like watch the first season of Sword Art. Everybody else is so good, so good. And then you hear Kirito like talk or like get into an action sequence. And I'm like, what am I hearing, dude? Where's the emotion? Which is weird because it's like Bryce Papenbrook who does the English voice of what's his name, Seven Deadly Sins.
Meliodas?
Yeah, Meliodas. It's like uh Meliodas has so much emotion. Like, why is that lost on this character? Like specifically in the scene where he's fighting the Gleam Eyes.
Hmm.
And if you listen to it in Japanese, right? Even though the phrase is like one word, right? He's saying like faster, faster, faster. Like the way it's delivered with emotion, you can tell like, damn, this guy is really struggling. And it's like, okay, not enough, not enough. But then you get to the English dub and he's like, gotta go faster, a little bit faster. And it's like, bro, where's the like sense of urgency? You're fucking fighting for your life. Why are you delivering this line like if you're just reading it to me? It was like, gotta go faster. Like, I'm not feeling it, dog. I'm really not. But then you hear like Sharon Lee deliver her lines, and it's like, oh my god, dude, that's fantastic.
How the hell did you make this so
Uh,
good?
yeah, I don't know, man. Like, there's a lot of like really good English voice actors, especially in the newer age too. Like, if you ever play Persona 5, the actress for On, I don't know what her name is. Let me look that up real quick.
I will say though, I would love to see other people's opinions in the comment section. God, I would really love to see everybody else's opinions about that.
Her name is Erica Harlacher. Harlacher. I
Our
say that
liquor.
wrong, right?
No.
But dude, she does a fantastic job. Same thing for like everybody in the entire Persona 5 cast. Like those lines are delivered with like a lot of emotion and like done very well. It just feels like why are things like that lost in translation for like regular animation? I mean, obviously, right? These characters or these actors are doing like hundreds and hundreds of lines a day with just like a video game, but still.
Still, it's something that they enjoy at the end of the day.
Yeah.
I mean, I've only heard like a couple of voice lines from Persona because you talk about it all the time. I'm like, I might as well listen to a couple, and I've really been like amazed by it sometimes. I'm like, damn, this is actually really fucking good.
Yeah, like I said, the voice actors, especially in the Persona games, are really, really good.
Hmm.
And there's not to say like I said, I'm not trying to say like all English dub actors are trash or this and that, because dude, some of these actors are well, I mean, they're exactly that. They're legitimate actors, man. Like they can provide so much emotion, and most of the time you hear it's that like, oh, there's a problem with the script or this sucks or that sucks. It's like I've watched G Gundam. That script is dog shit, literal garbage. But Mark Gatha and the entire cast turned that into fucking gold. Like you can recite word for word like all the scenes from this show because it's so good. It feels so good to like watch, to experience, even if they're saying like silly nonsense, like, "Oh my God, you destroyed my Gundam. My Gundam exploded. Oh, but I have another hand." Like, even if they're saying silly shit like that, they deliver those lines with so much emotion that it fucking pulls you in, man. You forget what you're watching. It's like something I've experienced, like as a parent, you'll watch your kids watch like a show, or let's say they're watching like Bluey or something, and you'll catch yourself like looking at
So
it like,
good.
what's going on? Yeah, you'll catch yourself watching like a clip or like seeing how like engrossed your kids are, and then you like come to realize like 10 minutes has passed. Like, oh shit, dude, that really pulled me in. These guys are really like
Yep.
I just such a surprise. They really like will pull you in. It's all based on how like the performance is like given. And I think that like says a lot. I don't want to say it's the actor's fault, right? Because they're obviously given direction from somebody else. Somebody out there doing the direction for these voice actors not doing a very good job. Not at all.
Please just fix the
He's
writing. That's
been
all we want.
it's not even the writing, it's just give them better direction, like allow them to really show emotion. Like don't shortcut on emotion, even if it sounds silly. Like I'd rather follow the guy who's screaming about how he's gonna become like the Wizard King or he's gonna be the next Hokage, right? With so much emotion than the guy who's reading those lines like shit. You know? Like there's no sort of emotion, no sort of investment. So so we go from this sort of like hot topic here, right? And if you guys have opinions, thoughts of your own, maybe clips, scenes that you want somebody else to check out, you know,
We'd love to see them.
don't hesitate. Yeah, let us know. 'Cause don't
Well,
get me wrong, right? My like views on anime are so limited to like what is really out there. If there's some good English dub, let us know, right? Or if you're on the side of subs, hit us with it. The best sort of scenes that you possibly have. All right, so we go from here in this very hot topic to some hot takes, some out of nowhere hot takes. Hit us with it. Hit us with your biggest hot take.
Manny,
Hit me with it,
Hold on, I gotta do
Lavish.
something.
Yeah, hit me with it, Lavish. Tell me what your biggest
I
hot
gotta do
take
something.
is.
oh my god.
Okay,
I'll be
then
back.
we'll hold off.
Alright, be back in like 20 minutes.
All right, I'll clap right here. Hold on.
This motherfucker. All right, and we are back from that momentary break slash interruption. And the topic we're going with right now, hot takes. Hit me with them. Lavish, you go first.
People who love Mashuku Tenzin should go to jail.
It's not a hot
Yeah, I'm not
take, I
sure what
agree.
that is. I gotta search it up. How do you spell
It's
that?
a show.
It's a weird isekai.
What's it called?
You don't hold on. You don't even need to look it up. Let me explain this to you.
Please.
Mushoku Tensei is some I want to say he's what 40, 30 years old. Imagine some
Mid
dude, right?
30s.
Yeah, it's a mid-30s fucking, you know, super
Loser.
horny, whatever the fuck guy. It's reincarnated into the body of a baby. right?
Mm-hmm.
But retains all his memories. And as a baby, he starts to like get off on sucking his mom's like tits, you know?
Oh my god.
Yeah, gets older and then starts to have feelings and starts to like be a
For his
pervert.
mom,
No, not
or
just
just
his
in
mom,
general,
for his like cousin
people with
who's
age.
like, yeah, no, like with a cousin who's completely underage. Like growing up alongside his cousin at the same technical age of this new body that he's in, but he's
Mm.
still the mind of a fucking 30-some-year-old dude, literally trying to grab panties from like a little girl. And I guess there's more of a story to it, but man, that was the only thing I needed to like have explained to me for me to understand. That's
I
trash,
watched it
bro.
as a
Get me
Yeah, that
out of
goof,
is
and
here.
I watched it as a goof, and I wanted to. I literally hated my life. I was like, I can't believe I actually watched the first episode.
that does
Hmm.
not sound like a hot take, James.
Well, you're gonna have people
No,
defending it, saying like, "Oh,
no, that's the thing.
yeah,
Yeah.
his
Or
teacher
that's
was
just
like
not of themselves.
no, but like they're gonna say like, oh, the teacher's like 200 something years old, but she has the body of a child. That still makes it fucking weird. It,
Yeah, no, he's completely right in that it's a hot take. Some people defend this with their fucking life. It's like,
hmm
well, they're not real characters, so it shouldn't matter what happens. Or, yeah, but you don't see his growth as a character. It's like,
Yeah,
bro, if you grow,
it's also like in the old fantasy, like like medieval time. I don't give a fuck. That's still
that's just
weird.
gross. It's just gross as fuck, dude.
That's a show.
It's an actual
Yep.
show and people love it.
Yeah.
It's
Like I
still
said,
going.
people who watched it, like aside from that fucking like creepy, disgusting like aspect of it, if you can get past that, like it has like magic and all this other sort of
It's
like
actually really good.
fantasy element to it, right? And there's like a genuine like good story there, but it's fucking tainted by like how nasty that is. And they're like, oh, it's to show his growth as a character. It's like, yeah, but that's like saying if a grown man now were to you know make moves and advances on a like say a 10, 12-year-old girl in today's world, and then all of a sudden after however much time, well, he's a changed person. That doesn't take away the fact that you're still that fucking creep who was here like scamming on your own family for one, and somebody who's underage with the mind of an adult. It'd be one thing, it's like he was reborn and he was reborn as a kid, and that kid grew up to be somebody new.
Yeah.
Maybe you get
But
away
it's
with
like
that.
it's two minds in the same body.
No, fuck that. There's an
It's
adult
weird.
who literally is consciously choosing to be that way
Yep.
with little kids. It's nasty as fuck.
Mind you,
Yeah, of
it's
course
still
James
going and
watched
there's
that.
a manga. Shut the fuck up. I watched it as a goof, and I hated my
Bro.
life.
It's a
Yeah, this shit
DLC.
is whack. What do
Yeah.
you got for me? What's your hot take, brother?
He says he has one good one.
I wouldn't say it's a good one, but and before people who are listening like, oh, of course it's about food. Yes, it's about food. My hot take is cinnamon toast crunch top
Huh?
10 cereal.
You're saying it's a top 10 cereal?
It's not a top 10 cereal.
Huh?
Oh, I agree.
A lot
I
of people
agree.
have it number one for some reason. Can y'all hear
No,
me?
I'm with you.
I think I
Yeah, I
keep
can hear you.
I think I keep
No, no, you're fine.
going in and
We
out.
can hear you. You're not cutting out. I can hear you.
Or
But for sure, 100%, I'm with you on that one. CT Crunch, although can be good in like small bursts every now and then in your life, that is not a top tier cereal.
so
It's just
I
fucking
can even name
cinnamon and
top
sugar,
10 if you
bro.
want. I can name 10 better ones.
I could name one, and it's the best cereal in existence.
He's gonna be an old man
Honey
for a
Bunches of Oats with
second.
almonds.
Yep.
Of course,
That is
brother.
the best one. That's the
Honey
best
Bunches of
cereal
Oats with
ever.
Almonds is the best cereal in existence, and it doesn't
The only
rely on
problem I
cheap.
have is it gets a little soggy too fast, but I just eat it anyways.
That's why you eat fast.
Uh, Big spoon it.
Big spoon.
We only have big spoons here at the house, dude. We bought like a cutlery set,
Comically large
and it came.
spoon.
No, I'm not kidding, dude. Like the size of the spoon is maybe like three of my fingers, like like in a scoop. Mind you, like I'm a full grown like adult male, like just fucking big ass spoons. And regular size spoons, we have like four. We go through that shit like No tomorrow. Every day, always having to do dishes of just the small spoons because nobody wants to use the fucking big ones.
Oh my god.
Well, because like the way I see it, right? Like the only time I use big spoons like that, or if I'm eating a gratuitous amount of food out of a
Stews.
big bowl. Yeah. Well, not even that. Like sometimes we'll have like rice and beans and stuff, right? And we have it in like a Tupperware. It's fucking big. So I just munch straight out of that with a big spoon. But if I'm eating like from a regular bowl and shit, I don't want, or if I'm eating my cereal, I don't want to use this giant fucking spoon that's gonna make me finish the cereal in 2 bites. Like I want to enjoy and savor my food, not be forced to eat it all at once. And then
Oh
of course
lord.
you can always try the, oh, you don't put everything on the big spoon. It's like, yeah, but this one's fucking huge. Even when you try to get just a little bit, you're grabbing the whole fucking bowl, dude.
Oh lord.
What's your thought
I
on that,
Right.
James? Where do you have Cinnamon Toast Crunch at?
I have it in the top 10. I actually do like it sometimes. Like I give it, it's around like 7. It's at number 7. Number 1 I could be called a child, but I like Cookie Crisp.
No, Cookie Crisp is my top 10.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like number 1
not for
that's my
me.
number 1.
Cookie Crisp would be top tier if the fucking cookie wasn't as hard as a rock, bro. Every
This is
time you eat
true.
that cereal, you fucking destroy the roof of your mouth. And it's like, yeah, you could let it sit in the milk for a little bit.
Yeah, but it's also like Captain
Then you,
Crunch. That shit will also rip up your
mm,
top of your the roof of your
Yeah, but it
mouth.
tastes a
that's
lot
why,
better than Cookie Crisp.
Right.
yeah, that
I.
cereal is also trash. Captain Crunch also whack. Honey
Yeah,
Bunches of Almonds is the best cereal
it
for
is.
mouthfeel, for taste, for the amount of like sweetness you get from it. Like it does everything right. The only
Ooh.
one that like maybe come second close is just honey bunches of oats with honey clusters. Just more of the honey and the honey bunches. Like that's it. But the almonds really, really like take it to where it needs to be.
No, oddly enough, I really do enjoy Honey Smacks.
Those are good too.
Those are really good. Even though they have like the same
That's the one with
like
the frog, right?
yeah, even though it has like the same texture as like eating like a styrofoam peanut, it's still really fucking good.
It is good.
The generic version of that is the
Isn't it the bear?
it's the no, the malto meal. It's like honey puffs, right? Because they're not like honeycombs. It's not like the honeycomb one. It literally looks like a little peanut with like a line through it, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's how it looks.
Yeah,
They're
yeah,
called
yeah.
Golden Post.
I'm about to go to
Yeah, there we
HEB and
go.
pick up a box.
No,
I'll
these
be
are
honest,
bags.
right? Look, mind you, this wasn't my hot take, but here is a hot take. I think the generic store versions, or at least the malto meal versions of like all the like name brand cereal are way better. Like Fruity Pebbles, whack as fuck. But Fruity Dino Bites, that stuff goes
They are
hard,
better for some reason. I
dude.
don't know why.
That's
That
so
stuff
weird
goes
though.
mad hard. I don't know why, dude. Instead of Captain Crunch, it's I don't know what it is. There's a whole list. Let me pull up this list
Man,
first
I
before
gotta
I
say this
go.
though, I never enjoyed Frosted Flakes growing up, and now I
The
really,
bananas?
yeah, I just haven't really cared for them. I love the
Eat those
mascot, Tony the
bananas. It's
Tiger,
good.
but me and Frosted Flakes did not connect.
All right. Here, I pulled them up for you. I'm just gonna start naming some off.
Okay.
Right? There's Berry Colossal Crunch, which is the Captain Crunch, way better.
I've had
If you
those,
have
and those are really good.
if you had Lucky Charms, the generic brand is Marshmallow Mateys,
What the fuck?
way better, bro. Golden Puffs, Fruity Dino Bites. I think the only one that isn't shit is the Crispy Rice, but nobody eats just the Rice Crispy one unless they're already putting in their own sugar and like additives.
Mm-hmm.
Cinnamon toasters,
Cinnamon toasters.
CT Crunch is okay. Cinnamon toasters is probably just a little bit better than that, but still not good. Then you have Apple Zings, makes Apple Jacks look dumb.
I've actually never had
I'm
Apple
telling you,
Jacks.
bro.
Really?
Damn. Well, don't
Yeah.
have them. Have
Okay.
the Apple Zings. They're way
So, speaking
better.
of Apple Jacks, I think I
Oh,
got you. It's a Apple Jacks flavored.
what Apple Jacks flavor?
Y'all didn't hear me?
No, you said I
No.
got you, and then you didn't say nothing.
I know.
I knew I was cutting it. Nah, because I got you something. The thing that I got you, it's Apple Jacks flavored.
Oh.
Oh, hey.
It was either that or lime, sorbet, but
Oh,
you
I
know,
can't wait to try it.
It's not
you
for
ain't
you.
trying it,
It's for
James.
me.
But I want it.
After work, I'll let you try some.
Oh my god.
Just get home as fast as possible.
Oh my god.
All right. I got two. All right. So I thought of one, and here's my initial hot take. Going back to what I had talked about earlier, especially with fighting games. All right. So the next segment was supposed to be asking you guys like what experience you have with fighting games, but I think we'll
Mhm.
hold that off to episode 4. Right. So let me just hit you with this one here. My hot take is the fighting game scene nowadays soft. Fucking soft as a marshmallow. Like there's no sort of hype or excitement for tournaments anymore. Like you watch some of the best players in the world go at it, but there's no like fucking passion or drive, you know, like no raw emotions when they play. It's literally just everybody playing nice. Like you could hate a motherfucker, you could hate everything about him. You play him in tournament, and it's like, oh my god, good game, and then just walk away. Like, no, bro, you fucking hate this guy. This guy ain't shit. You
I don't
just
think they
beat him,
want
pop
people to like
off on
literally
him.
like throw fist on stage, be like, "Fuck you, motherfucker."
All right, mind you, no one needs to get physical, right? Like
Yeah, but
the
there's
whole
been
point is you
moments.
talk, yeah, but you talk shit and
You
you
talk and
back it
start
up.
taunting.
Yeah, or you talk shit, lose, and guess what you do? You go back to the lab, you fucking train up, and you come back and you call that person out. Like in the early days of Marvel, maybe closer to like 2013 into like 2015, 2016, that's what the scene was down here for Marvel, and it was so alive. Like there was
Hmm.
such a rivalry between like this region or that region. It was never personal, right? Like I'll fucking badmouth like all the guys from the Upper Valley, but it was never like I actually don't like these people. It was always like I think my gameplay is better than you and your gameplay, and I'm here to prove it. So it was constant fucking battles, you know. Nowadays the FGC is too
Soft.
they're too yeah. I mean obviously it's like soft, right? But there's no passion or drive like that anymore. Like everybody's just trying to be fake friends with people. You know, like we all have to be friends if we're part of this community. Like, no, dude, like I don't have to be your friend. Like I'm just gonna come play this game, do what I do, and move on.
Yeah.
The way I made friends in the FGC was through like these battles. Like some guy would come in, talk his shit, we would play. And at the end of it, you'd find like a newfound respect for this person. You'd be like, you know what? I upset this guy so much. He went and trained just to beat me. Guess what? I'm gonna go back and do the exact same. You know, like that's where you found like this sort of respect and build like these sort of bonds. And then my first one, I'm not even gonna have to defend it. I'm just gonna say leave it with this. Sword Art Online, season 1 and 2 are good. They're both good.
I agree.
Everybody only likes season 1, but if you are like as invested in the story as you should be, the moment you hit season 2, it elicits like such a visceral response from people. The moment you find out like, oh, she's not waking up, you're like, oh no. And then the rest of those episodes as they come along, even though they're just shoveling shit at you is what you think, right? In your head, you're like, oh, I don't want to deal. Who cares? What is it? What is that? The entire time you're like stuck in anticipation. You're waiting. The build gets worse and worse and worse, and that feeling that you feel when you watch it hurts. Like it leaves like an ugly feeling in your mouth, especially when you see this guy being like real fucking creepy and shit. You know, like it elicits such a response that you forget that you were just given like this whatever secondary fantasy world. You're just waiting. You're getting through these episodes trying to get to the end, trying to get to like what really happens. And I think that's a part of how good the storytelling was in part one. Like they say in like wrestling, right? In the world of wrestling, that you don't need to be the good guy. You can be the heel, and any sort of response from the crowd is what you want. You don't need to be the good guy. They could fucking hate you and everything you stand for. But the moment you make them feel something, you have them hooked. And it doesn't matter if you're the good guy, the bad guy, or the guy who just comes in at the last second. Like once you force somebody to feel a response, you force them to be invested. And that's what I think season 2 did for SAO. I think it forced everybody to be invested and watch it to get to the end of that like particular arc. Anything else after, I'm not really like didn't invest in. I didn't really care. But that initial like first season, phenomenal. You get to season two, and the whole time you're just anxious, uncomfortable, and it like hurts. Like you don't want to keep watching, but you need to know what happens. So you get through those episodes, and then by the time you hit the end of it, you're like, oh, okay, finally. Like a sense of peace, a sense of like normalcy has returned, and now the series can end. But most people don't see that. They're just like, oh, I wish they stayed in the first one, and the conflict never changed. It's like, no, bro. Like the conflict changing made it so much more real, right? Because they're stuck in a game. What do? They have to beat the game to get out. They all escape, right? So you escape the hell that is like the death game just to find out, like, oh, the person I care the most about is stuck somewhere else. I'm here in the real world. This isn't like a fantasy anymore. I can just go defeat a boss and I'll save her. This is like, what do I do? And you see him like descend into that sort of like that push, like when he gets to the world tree and he does that fight where he's like screaming and screaming and screaming again, like with all this emotion for this actor. You get to that point and you want him to get there. You want him to succeed. You didn't care about any of the nonsense that came before. The only thing that mattered was that moment and what it made you feel. I think people are just ignoring that because they didn't like how they felt during that point. You know what I mean? Like if you watch something sad, of course you're gonna get fucking sad. This is the way the story was told. You get that sense of relief that, oh, they escaped, or maybe they both died. And then you transition into, oh, wait, maybe something worse is happening, something worse than what we expected. And that's my hot take. I'm tired of hearing people, especially like when you listen to people do interviews at conventions, hate on SAO season two. It's like, okay, nobody cared about the characters in between. It was the moment that she was taken and how he gets back to her that forces you to have those responses. Yeah, obviously they write in the harem so that they can continue to go forward, but everything before that was intense. Like you wanted him to get to this guy, you wanted him to fucking kill the shit out of him. And so when the pain levels get turned up, when that guy's suffering, like everything about that moment was like complete justification of the hell you felt you had to go through to get to that point. Like, oh, finally, I fucking watched all these episodes just so this motherfucker can get it. And he does. He finally gets what he deserves.
Hmm. I would need to do my homework on Sword Art Online, but
You haven't seen that even the first season?
I've never watched it. I've just heard good and bad things, and it's made me feel like I've had me like mixed feelings of like, should I really watch this?
I say watch it.
Okay.
Nobody ever says anything bad about the first season of Sword Art Online, except people who are like halfway invested into the story. People are like, "What? They all of a sudden he has a kid? Well, it took me out of it." It's like, what took you out of it? The fact that he was stuck in a death game, or the fact that they're playing an MMO online? Like these people are trying to find normalcy in their lives. Like you follow the story of Kirito, and you don't care about anybody else, right? It's not until you get to like the later point of the first season that you start to care about everybody else because you see how like important everybody else is to this guy who has just only treated people as like tools or objects. And
Mhm.
Kirito's like, oh, this guy's my blacksmith. He's the best one, so I'm gonna stick with him. He gets what I need him to do,
Okay.
right? And that's his relationship with everybody until he becomes invested in Asuna, and that develops further. It's like, okay, so he's with this girl. What's to stop him from one day just being like, no, I don't want to be with her anymore? Well, they introduced the kid, right? The fictional, like, digital kid to add stakes. It's like, okay, well, now we both, like, care for each other and we have something to direct our care towards. And then you, like, proceed forward. I think it's really well done. I think season two did exactly what it needed to do, and that was make the viewer very uncomfortable, completely uncomfortable. And that's it. That's my hot take. Guys, got anything else you want to add?
I mean, I'll be doing my homework on Sword Art, so I'll let people know in
What?
the next pod.
Yeah, watch it. It's good. Very good. I can't say anything about Gun Gale or anything else that follows. But God, those first two seasons
I've
were
seen Gun
like a
Gale.
fucking journey.
It's pretty bad too, but somewhat enjoyable still.
Yeah.
It's just the same premise.
Hmm. Alrighty.
It's like in a game. Can I get out?
No.
Let us know
No.
what you think, right? What are your guys' hot takes? What is something that you have an opinion on that most people don't? Whether it's good, bad, anime, food, anything. Let us know, all right? And we'll catch you in the next one.
Good night, everybody.